How do you make your dreams a reality? Has it been very challenging? Why? The Dream to Rise podcast was created to inspire individuals on their journeys of personal and professional growth. Recognizing the power of dreams and aspirations, this podcast aims to share authentic stories, valuable insights, and transformative strategies from a diverse range of guests. It serves as a platform for encouraging listeners to overcome obstacles, embrace their potential, and pursue their passions with purpose and determination. Ultimately, empowering them to turn their dreams into reality. Let us listen to our guests and learn from their story. Welcome to our Dream to Rise podcast. I'm always excited to interview guest speakers who brings about so much positivity, calmness in terms of the health and well-being, because a lot of us are experiencing so much stress, so much fears in our lives, and sometimes we don't know what to do. But our guest speaker, Unyoung Kim, has spent a lifetime seeking wisdom, habits, and practices, from philosophy to yoga, meditation, and quantum healing techniques. She is also an author, and her book, Stress Burner Tips for Busy People, is about her practical 25 quick ways to avoid burnout, reduce daily stress, and be able to live in the flow now. She was born in Korea and raised in the US, and she lives in view of the Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia with her husband and a dog near her 3 adult daughters, having traveled on 5 continents, and she embraces community everywhere. I've met with her several times at our Fairfax Social Collective networking group, and she's an angel. She's so loving, and whenever we see each other, we would just hug. That's how we enjoy each other's company. And without further ado, I would just like to introduce Miss Unyoung Kim. Unyoung, welcome to our Dream to Rise podcast. You're such an angel to me.
It takes one to know one. That was one of the first things I felt when I met you. And I thought, oh my gosh, who knew that in a networking meeting, I would meet an angel?
Oh,
and that's how I felt.
Oh,
I felt like that. Because you hope, because having heard your story and what you have overcome, you do dream to rise.
Oh, yeah.
This is who you are. And I think, to all the listeners out there, I feel as though you are here on purpose. You're listening on purpose. You're seeking something on purpose, because all of us, life, as Michelle Obama says, life is lifing. None of us is immune to suffering, old age, sickness, death. Life happens, right? It's not a matter of wishing that our life was smooth and problem-free. It's a matter of rising to the occasion, finding the strength within us, tapping into the strength within us. And so, just as a little exercise, I thought it'd be fun to do together.
Okay.
I invite, first of all, everyone to take a breath and to ground yourself. Notice how your body feels. Notice any smells or feel sensations around you. Ground yourself in your senses. And in that, I invite you to call forth to be with us in spirit any beings who are inspirations to you, who are sources of strength, who, when you think about them, you smile inwardly, deeply. with a sense of connection to source, that which is greater than us. It could be a being that is living or not living physically. They could be mythological or historical or ancestral. Let's draw their presence here today. And know that you can invoke them at any time. We often feel very alone in our suffering. And it's a skill to remember that we are not alone, that we are deeply, fundamentally connected to each other. And that we can have an inner smile about that. Feel any energy rising within you as you invoke these beings and presences and energies for yourself and thank them. They could be animals, beloved animals, that help you connect with your love energy, your heart as well. And take a breath. Notice how you feel. And thank yourself for taking the time to be here together in community. Take another breath. Your eyes are closed. Gently come back. When you're ready, let your eyes gently open.
Wow. See, just probably spend a minute or two when you start your day. It will give you so much positivity. Being grateful for what you have with all the blessings. It You might experience a lot of ups and downs, but know the challenges or the struggles that we experience are actually blessings. Because as what you have mentioned, it builds our resilience. It makes us stand up again and move forward, applying what we have learned in the past to make our lives better, be the best version of ourselves. I like this, Unyong. Thank you so much for letting us experience this. And I hope our listeners and our viewers were able to take advantage of this experience. Lovely, Unyo. You always, always give the best for all of us. And changes how we feel right now. We're a lot calmer. I became more relaxed. And this is a great way to reduce stress. Thank you so much.
Oh, my pleasure.
Can you tell us something about yourself that brought you to where you are right now? Have you experienced some pains in life which led you to what you're doing right now and helping others?
Oh, what such a rich question.
Oh my.
I almost feel like my mom said to me, you know, Unyoung, you're a healer, but without needles and tools, not like a traditional medical doctor, but you're a healer. And I said, I feel like that's true because my greatest joy is helping people become at peace with themselves and to heal the things that have been problems for them. and to live and thrive. That's my greatest joy. Being a child of immigrant, I mean, I came when I was this big, really tiny, we left Korea. And at that time, it was Korea that was recovering after the war. There wasn't really much happening there. For my father and mother, they were young in their 20s, and my father was looking for an opportunity outside of Korea to raise a young family, to have dreams and hopes that were not available to them. They lived in poverty. They were children of war, right? They were children of war and of occupation. So their identities as Koreans were erased.
Wow.
They were not allowed to learn Korean. They had to change their names to Japanese names. It was illegal to learn Korean. So my mom learned it secretly from her mom. Do you see what I mean? So these were erasures of their identity. But Koreans are feisty people. We've endured a lot of invasions and occupations and so forth throughout history. So we have that in our character to rebound, to be feisty, to survive, right? And I think that's somehow epigenetically in me.
But you're doing it in a positive way. That's
Yeah, I feel, because what I have seen through the modeling of my parents, who were incredibly resourceful. They didn't know the language, and can you imagine having a small family? You don't know the language, you have no job, you're a minority, and you have these small children in tow who are looking to you for security, and you're going to start a new life in a new land. I mean, the whole anti-immigrant sentiment in this country blows my mind because, in fact, this is the strength of this country, built on the resilience of immigrants
I
saying,
agree.
I'm going to create a new life. I'm going to create something new. And I'm so grateful for my parents who probably endured. They never told us because they didn't want us to live in fear, but they encountered obstacle after obstacle. I know my dad saying he was fired from one of his first jobs because he didn't know English well enough to be a delivery driver. Do you see what I mean?
Oh my.
So it's resilience. So it's like the American dream. That is the inspiration it's like the beacon for so many people to come and endure all the difficulties of immigration for the sake of their dreams to rise, right? And so for me is a strength that I bring as an immigrant, as a healer, as the child of my parents, as the grandchild of my grandparents, and on and on. Like I'm bringing that. And so I think how is it that I got into healing? Within that immigrant story, I witnessed the dissolution of my family, my immediate family, with the traumatic divorce of my parents. It's like we had achieved everything. The dream of the suburban house, the three children who did well in school, and they did everything right, and it was in some ways empty, you know. And my parents, through no fault of their own, didn't learn the skills of having a vital marriage. Let's get the family to survive. Let's be together. But I don't really, for myself, like putting your own needs to the bottom. So I got to witness that too. And that was a huge lesson.
Same here. because I think the older generation, they always focus on security.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we will work on this for the family, so, but there's lack of connection within
Mm-hmm.
the family.
Yes.
That's the one of the regrets of the elderly,
Mm.
because they spent more time on work,
Mm-hmm.
but less quality time for the family, for the
Mm-hmm.
children, to
Yeah.
build that connection, that relationship that
Yeah.
would even make the family stronger. That's why there are a lot of
Mm-hmm.
divorce here.
Yes.
The rate of divorce is kind of high
Mm-hmm.
because there's lack of emotional intelligence, there's lack of
Mm-hmm.
even in communication. We always say that communication is key to a relationship, but then how do we communicate?
Mm-hmm.
Do we really listen actively to the
Right.
needs of the other person, or do we always focus on ourselves? Instead of us, we focus on me. That's
Mm-hmm.
the problem.
As I listen to you, I feel a poignancy to our two immigrants, first generation immigrants. And although I'm kind of a one and a half generation, it was my parents who bore the brunt of the fear of the survival mentality of like, okay, if we have a roof over our heads and food on the table, that's enough,
Mhm,
right? My job is done.
mhm.
And it's almost as if that was their focus because that was what they had to do.
Yes.
If they had any mental energy left, then, oh, maybe I can look at enjoyment and
Mhm,
connection
mhm.
and love
Yes.
within and relationships. And I almost feel like they sacrificed that in a way. They didn't know how in a way, you and I are the products of their efforts. We don't have to necessarily worry as much. Well, maybe we do about with ICE and so forth, like everybody's a target, right?
Yes.
That's the mentality of fear, the desire of forces, oppressive forces to make people afraid,
Mhm,
right? So I think what I feel called to do is within that atmosphere, stay grounded in the way that we grounded ourselves. There are these oppressive forces out there, but they're not the truth,
mhm.
right?
Yes.
They're not the deep, profound truth that we know, that we resonate.
And another thing, these are the things we cannot control, but we
Mm-hmm.
can control how we respond to a situation.
Right. And I feel like, Cynthia, what we can control is cultivating the muscle.
Mm-hmm.
It's the inner muscle of resilience, the inner muscle of calm. It's almost like martial arts.
Mm-hmm.
My father, one of the thing that helped him establish is that in Korea, for his recreation and health, he became a black belt in karate, taekwondo,
Uh-huh.
right? He was like a third degree black belt by the time we came to the United States.
Uh-huh.
And as immigrants, you are asked, what do you have to offer that native of this country cannot offer? He said, oh, I know martial arts and I can teach that. So that was in the 60s when there wasn't much martial arts going on in the US.
Mhm.
So
Great.
that's how he entered. See, martial arts is that mentality of warriorship and being the calm center while all these things are coming at you. You
Mm-hmm.
stay calm and you stay aware. And from that groundedness, the foes go flying.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Yes. And you know what? When you mention about where's the source of your being calm, the source of peace, you mentioned about the muscles, but each of us, we have our own source of
Mhm,
how to get that peace within ourselves.
mhm. Mm-hmm.
I get my source as during the exercise, we connect to the ultimate being. We connect to where we are, where we get strength. And for
Yes.
me, it's God. It
Mm-hmm.
could be relationships in terms of when you came over, because I'm also an immigrant.
Mm-hmm.
It was me who initiated it, brought my children, my family, uprooted them, and then came here and see what is in store for us. Not
Yes.
only for me, but also for our children, because we want to give uh, all the opportunities that they could get, which we could not get from the Philippines. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
so glad and happy that they are now happy living their purpose as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you believe in manifestation?
Yes, I think this is a great time to share this visual.
Okay.
So this is to address a couple of your questions here.
Yes.
Let's see, where did it go?
This is a different kind of episode we're showing here to our televiewers, to our listeners and viewers, because we have some visual aids. We did even an exercise. See, it's not all about talking and chatting. It's all about experiencing what we need to experience to overcome or to instill calmness and instill peace within ourselves. And now she will share with us a visual aid.
Okay, here we go. This
Okay.
is one of my favorite visuals.
Mm-hmm.
It's so rich.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what you're seeing for those of you who are on the podcast, it's a visual that's like a cone, shaped like a cone. It's a cone that radiates up with the point at the bottom and the cone, the wide cone at the top. It's a graphic that encapsulates so much of an energy scale. It's a scale of consciousness. So that the bottom at the is suffering. At the top of the cone, it's an expansion into ultimate consciousness. We could call that God. We could call that the infinite universal consciousness. You could call it nature, but that which is greater than us. It's an expanded energy, right? And on the left, you can see a description of each of the. It's like, so at the bottom is suffering. At the top is expanded consciousness of flow and love. Okay. So the closer you are to the top of the cone, the more your states of consciousness have to do with love and expansion. The more contracted you are, the closer you are to suffering and fear. Do you see?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel as though there are many forces that are causing us in this world to contract in fear and suffering. Am I right?
Yes.
So much of what's happening geopolitically has to do that we're seeing in the news and being assaulted with, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's happening. These are forces of fear, oppression, and hate, right? So this is happening, and it wants to drown us, right? The forces of oppression want to drown us, right? We have to be warriors. We can't be like, la la la, let's all just meditate, right? It's a part of the equation to help us stay grounded. But it doesn't mean we have to go off for a month, right? We experienced within a very short time how quickly we can ground in our own source and our own peace. So do you see, if you look, the contracted, going from contraction to expanded states? I'm going to read it out to the podcast people. But at the lower end of the scale, the most contracted states are shame, then guilt, apathy, grief, going higher up on the scale of expansion, fear, desire, anger, pride, courage, neutrality, willingness, acceptance, coming up into the more expanded states, reason, love, joy, peace, enlightenment. And I just recently heard above enlightenment is gratitude.
Oh, wonderful.
So, do you see gratitude as a practice? It's a transformational practice, one that we can actually practice. And I know, Cynthia, you are a huge advocate of practicing gratitude. This is a way of getting, it's a shortcut to expanded consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just like a la-di-da thing. It is a shortcut to expanded consciousness. Notice the next time you're in deep suffering, if you can think of one thing that for which you're grateful, that is transformational instantaneously. But we're not used to exercising that muscle,
Yes.
you know, and it's necessary in these days.
Yes. That's why I always ask my clients at least 5 things that you're grateful for every day.
Mhm.
And then you will see if you make it a habit and you're
Mhm.
consistent doing this, it becomes a habit. And this habit becomes part of yourself already.
Yeah.
Instead of focusing on problems, we focus on what are the opportunities waiting ahead of us.
And that shapes the marinade that you
Mhm.
you soak yourself in.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
You shape the marinade by your, I mean, and what I'll say is that once in a while we all need to vent and let
Yeah.
off steam,
Yeah.
right? We
Yes.
need to like you know,
Yes.
just to really
We're
just,
all we're only human beings, right?
we're human, right? We
Yeah.
just like, you know, there is a thing called, someone said, you know, Unyong, beware of toxic positivity.
There's such thing.
You know, it's in a way, yeah, there is such a thing where
Uh-huh.
it's like, oh God, you know, here comes Unyoung. She's gonna just try to make me feel better. You know, when you just want to feel bad, sometimes you just want to feel bad and be outraged and really express how outrageous things are, right? You
And
blow
that,
off the steam, and then what I find is, okay, I got that off my chest. Then I have space to actually shift.
yes.
You know? You know, like sometimes I just have to give myself permission, give myself a chance to vent. Not, you know, not be Pollyanna or make myself in an aggressive way be positive. You know what I mean? Like, you are going to be positive. It's like just having empathy for ourselves and knowing that life does suck sometimes. And
Yes.
sometimes it's like one thing after another, after another, after another, and then you know you step in dog poop, right? So it's like
See, that's how we react or we respond to a situation. Will
Mhm.
you react in such a way? You curse and then you always complain now whenever you see someone.
So what I want to answer your question about do I believe in
Uh-huh.
manifestation? So what I find is that when one's energy is expanded versus contracted, like draws like. So this is why I feel that uh, when I'm in a state of expectation of positivity, magic happens.
I agree. I
It's
agree.
amazing. Like, if I didn't witness it myself over and over again, I would not quite believe this. You have to see it to believe it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny, my husband and we balance each other out because I always expect positivity to happen. You know, we joke about the parking spaces where I always expect I'm going to get one, no matter how crowded a parking lot
Yeah.
is.
Uh-huh.
It's just a matter of timing, and you know, people come and go. It's like but so he always wonders, why am I even roaming around looking here when it's so packed, right? So he'll say, just park way over there because we know that there's parking there. He said, but just let me just go around once. And inevitably, someone will pull out right as I'm coming. He's witnessed this over and over again. And to the extent that when we go someplace crowded, like into DC or something, he'll say, Unyoung, you drive. You always get the parking space. We call it the parking goddess, right? Is always looking out for a space. So, he's seen this over and over again. So now I'm the one driving into DC to get, because I always get the parking. So that's a small example, but I
Yeah.
think that it's true. There's some people have this dark cloud where they expect the bad things to happen, and so they draw that negative to them, right? Animals and young children sense energy.
Yeah.
And they sense if you're contracted or fearful. And so do people who have bad intentions. You know, they say that if you're walking down a street that's dark and you suddenly are feeling afraid, they say to expand your energy, walk confidently, and to stand really straight rather than to hunch up in fear. And in the world, you can power pose.
Yeah. And this is about the law of attraction. What
Yes,
you get is what you project.
yes,
So others are just mirroring what you
hmm,
project to them.
yes,
And
it's
that's
true.
that's how we create this ripple effect in terms of connection. If
Hmm,
you project positive energy, you
hmm.
get that positive energy back. And that's how
And
you build connection.
I think, the law of attraction I think people mistake it sometimes. Like, oh, I've been wishing for this to happen and it's not happening. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
I'm wishing for abundance, but you're coming from a place of extreme inner poverty, a sense of
Yes.
neediness. So that's why the abundance doesn't arrive into your sphere,
Yeah.
because the work to be done is to cultivate that quality of abundance,
Yes. And you
of
should.
sufficiency, of
Yes.
sufficiency, that you are enough, that
Yes.
what you have is enough. We live in an age, I just read a really, Lynn Twist was the author. She talked about our toxic money culture in this country,
Mhm.
which is built on a cultivation of insufficiency,
Mhm.
that we are not enough, we always need more, that more is better,
Mhm.
and that's just the way it is,
Yeah.
right? Those are the three elements she talks about that keep us on this hamster wheel of needing more, more, more. And
Mm.
it's on the hamster wheel of where we feel insufficient in ourselves,
Mm.
where we're thinking, oh, well, I just need the dopamine hit of buying that new pair of shoes. I need the dopamine hit of getting that wonderful pastry. you know, I need the dopamine hit of that next $100,000.
But
All comes from the sense of insufficiency.
yeah.
So she talks about transforming that culture. And part of that is transforming our inner sense of insufficiency,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
That contracted sense of suffering. And we're just getting by,
Mhm.
right? And in the whole scale of the world, so many people who are millionaires and billionaires don't feel like they have enough,
Yes.
right?
That's why there's this longing for, I'm sorry to say, greediness.
It's
Longing
greed,
for
right?
power. That's
Right.
why a lot of things are happening
Hmm.
in this
Right.
world. So, oh, that was a great insight which you just shared. I would like to ask, what are your goals for the next 12 months?
I would love to reach people who are transformational leaders.
Uh-huh.
So these are um, healers, educators, activists, and leaders. If I help them achieve, these are people who have a very vast ripple effect, but are also on the path generally to burnout. So my ideal clients are these folks, okay? So anyone with a ripple effect. These can be parents.
Yeah.
Okay? They're often people who put their own well-being at the bottom because they're so mission driven. These can be immigrants too, as we were talking, right? Anyone who's on the course of burnout, but whose influence ripples out to those they serve. Okay? Healers, nurses, doctors, therapists, coaches, people who care about the health and well-being of others. Educators, people who are there to help others learn, right? And to expand their knowledge and wisdom.
Wow.
Activists, those who see an injustice and want to help change it. Right?
Wonderful.
They are mission driven. Okay? Leaders who are thinking about the whole thing going well. Okay? These are very often people who other people don't think well of. People don't know how to think well about leaders.
Yeah. But
they put them on a pedestal and then they don't give them the support they need.
Yes.
Do you
But
see what I mean?
what would be your action steps in terms of reaching out to them?
I would love to reach organizations and associations of these people.
And how would you do that?
Mainly through contacts.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
People who know me, people who have seen my work, who have experienced my work, who've either read my book or have done my online course, which is now available. These are all ways to reach large groups of people.
Yes, the networking we did is very helpful.
Exactly. So through networking, there are so many people who are eager for this work. And truthfully, who doesn't need it, right? Stress affects all of us. It's part of the fabric of the way our modern lives we live, and the culture kind of gets us bound up in stress.
When I spoke with one of the members of the Fairfax East networking, he mentioned about you because they were just starting a business. She said that, oh, it was so great that we experienced Unyong in terms of the breathing, being calm, because they're experiencing a lot of stress starting a business. So that was a wonderful feedback, which I got from him.
And what's great about that is that people can have an experience of how little it can take. And that's what the whole book is about. The book that I wrote, I realized, wow, people don't realize that these things are so easy to do. They're elegant, practical. You can feel the impact right away. And they're easy to do. We just have to do them. The hardest part is remembering to do them and to incorporate them, right? But
actually, whenever I experience some stress in my life, I would just open and read it again. See? Thank you for giving me that book.
I knew you were the perfect person to gift it because you are a healer, you are a coach, you're a leader. And so it's my joy to be able to share it with people like you, Cynthia, because you touch so many lives and you care that much to have this be your mission. And so for me, it's like, what is the easy, elegant thing to do? Like I I could try to reach everybody, right?
Yes.
And as much as that would make me happy, for me to be able to maximize my efforts, I figure if I can reach healers, educators, activists, leaders, it turns out that's an acronym that I wasn't planning.
Yeah. Oh
The
my, yes.
universe just gave that to me, right, as a gift. If I can reach those people, the ripple will go out.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And those who are in their sphere will benefit hugely.
Yes.
And in my book, I talk about stories of people who have been activists, who are able to do so much more from a place of calm. And they are warriors. They're like martial artists,
Mm-hmm.
being much more all accomplishing. You see what I mean?
Yes, I agree. Could you repeat again the title of the book so they would know? And then where is it available?
It's available on Amazon. A link is on my website, stressburner.me. But it's on Amazon and it's called Stress Burner Tips for Busy People.
Yes. I'm telling you all because I've read it twice to make sure that whenever I'm stressed, I would always do the exercises and it
Great.
helps. Most of the time we always give, but we forget ourselves. And part of this, for you to be successful, is to work on your health and well-being. That's the first step towards success. Because if you're not doing very well in terms of physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual, you won't be able to connect well with people.
Right.
And
Right.
when you connect well with people, you're able to perform better in life.
And, Cynthia, thank you so much for having this conversation and creating the space
Yes.
and being a true warrior.
Oh,
You are such a warrior. You with you're a love warrior.
thank you. And that's
Yeah.
what we need to
Yeah.
spread around. Love, kindness, compassion, so that peace may prevail here on earth. And
Yeah.
that's what we can do individually. We
Right.
cannot, as I've said a while ago, we don't have control over
Mm-hmm.
what's happening around us. The world is very chaotic,
Mm-hmm.
but we will be able to find that peace within ourselves when we promote or when we send out that positive energy.
Right. And that
My dear,
self-respect.
yes, self-respect.
Self-respect. Yeah.
My dear, what simple advice would you like to share with our listeners?
That you be grateful for who you are and that this precious life we have,
Mm-hmm.
there's nothing that can diminish that. It's like we have the opportunity to be alive in
Yes.
this incredible age right now.
Yes.
It's an incredible age of huge change. So just to embrace that you are getting to live this life.
Wow. Thank you so much, Unyong, for this thank you for sharing your incredible journey with us. Your story is a powerful reminder of resilience, courage, and transformative impact pursuing one's dreams. Thank you, and we'll see each other again in our next networking event, right?
Yes, I look forward to it. I'm ready with the hug.
Yes. Okay, thank you, and have a blessed day, Unyong. You
Thank
are such
you.
a gift to all of us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you
Okay.
so much.
Okay.
Such an incredible story of resilience and transformation. The journey is a powerful reminder that adversity can lead to profound personal growth and the ability to uplift others. It's inspiring to see how each one turned their challenges into opportunities for healing, especially for those who may feel lost or hopeless. I want to take this opportunity to invite you to explore my books, my journey into becoming, and dream to rise from darkness into light. In my journey into becoming, I shared my personal struggles in overcoming an abusive relationship and the heart-wrenching moments that followed, ultimately finding my purpose in helping others live their dreams. Dream to Rise, an anthology, combines the stories of 18 courageous co-authors who illuminate the path from darkness to light. Each narrative showcasing the profound impact that sharing our truths can have on those who are struggling. Together, we can inspire change and encourage others to embrace their own journeys. Remember, your voice matters, and there is a community of support waiting to lift you up. Let's continue to be beacons of hope and make a difference in this world. Thank you for being here and for everything you're doing to help others rise. For those who would like to be a part of the Dream to Rise Inner Circle, this is a mastermind group that fosters learning and growth. My main objective is to help the members rise and shine. Be a part of this amazing group and let's strive to be the best version of ourselves. If you need more information, please visit my website www.dreamtorise.info. Again, www.dreamtorise.info. Have a blessed day to all.